Dear Mr. Batista, thank you for joining us for this interview in the framework of TDAG 2011. You represent here during this meeting the Association of Regulators in Telecommunications of Portuguese-speaking countries.
Exactly.
Can you tell us a bit more about the role of this association?
Okay, so the association was created in 2008 during a meeting in Lisbon, and it was just a formal creation because to be correct, the relations between the Portuguese-speaking countries they started a long time ago. We had individual, bilateral, and multilateral cooperation actions among all the members or all the countries, 80 in total. And we decided to move along and create a regional association, although we are not typically a regional association because our members are spread all around the globe, which for us it's kind of an advantage as well as a challenge at the same time, because we can't copy or replicate and benefit from the experience from the different regions, because in our times, I think that you agree with me, the problems are the same, the solutions may not be the same, but they're very similar, and so we think that being separated in the different regions of the globe could be an advantage for us, because we can bring to our fore all the experience from the different regional associations, because our members are also members of several regional associations around the world, ARCTEL, CRASA, WATRA, you name it. So that was seen as an advantage, and we decided to move formally and create an association in 2008 to continue the work that has already been in place since 2000, when our relations started more actively. And we decided to move along and to establish an association that would put us at the same level as other associations. And the main aims or the scope of the association are pretty much the same as other associations, although we intend to exchange and promote the exchange of instruments, of experts, the adoption of best practices, and to promote a better market and a better development of the sector in our countries, and promote the idea of a Lusophone market of telecommunications, because at total we are more than 250 million users, so it's a very expressive market, it's a lot of people. And once again, the importance of this association, I believe, is to be represented in the different corners of the world, so we can be used as a platform to common work among all the regions. And during this TDAG, I think we have been experienced that's the line of work that people are looking for. And so ARCTEL, I believe, that can have a major role on this process, in this whole process. I should line out that and point out that proposed by us, we now have regional associations meetings on a formally basis. During the GSR, we had already 2 meetings. We'll have the 3rd meeting this September in Armenia, Colombia, and I encourage all the other associations to come and to share the experience with us. Because I do believe that the problems are so much similar in every region, and bringing everyone together at the same table and sharing the experience, I believe that the solutions and the common proposals will be much easier to achieve, and all the sector will benefit from that.
Thank you. You mentioned the GSR, which will take place next September in Armenia City in Colombia. What are, in your view, the main challenges that regulators are facing today?
Well, the world has come global. I mean, the distance, the time, it's in our days it's more or less non-existent. We are always online, and this means that the challenges are always there. And I think the biggest challenge of regulators are over the national approach. That's why we see more and more regional associations to work together side by side and to work internally to find harmonization, to find common solutions for the regulatory problems. If we look at Europe, for instance, they have moved a step forward with the creation of BREC, and I think that will be the way or the path to the future. I mean, I believe that the solutions have to be found in a regional approach and coordinated in a global approach with ITU. So I see it as the first level of the regulators as the national authorities, the second level the regional associations, and the last level the ITU coordination of all over these two other layers. The challenges are many, but I believe that the best way to overturn those challenges, and I mean it's hard to point out one or two challenges. There are several issues on the agenda. I'll say international roaming could be one of them. So I mean, what I think is important to point out, it's not the challenge, but the way to overcome those challenges, which is by partnerships, by dialogue at regional level and the global level, as we do here in TDAG, and I believe that we will do as well at the third regional associations meeting that will take over as well during the GSR, and we will report to the GSR. I think it's important to pass the idea that not only the discussions should be taken at a national level and a bilateral level, but also at the regional level. It's important to share the problems and share the solutions that different regions find to overcome those challenges.
You mentioned the possible coordination role of the ITU, and indeed, quite soon after the association was formally created, you decided to join the ITU as a sector member and as an international organization. Mm-hmm. What is, in your view, the reasons and the role that you see for your association in the work of the ITU?
Yeah, because aligned with what I just said before, I mean, we have to be part of it. I mean, it's important, and I would be happy to see more and more people to join the ITU as sector members, because in our days we cannot work out solutions by ourselves. It has to be a process of coordination and talk and sharing with all the sector members, with all the stakeholders, because there's no way we can find good solutions, and there's no way you can develop communications by ourselves. We have to cope with other partners. So I believe the decision was very easy to take. I mean, as long as we started as an association, of course we had to be a sector member. Of course we have to be part of the ITU family, because, and I give you a very concrete example. Today I just had a meeting with the regional director of the Asian Pacific office of ITU, because one of our members is Timor. They have just recently joined ITU, as you know. They were in the first plenipot last year in Guadalajara, and they are a little bit lost in terms of context as being a Portuguese-speaking country, but they are so far away from Africa, where all the Portuguese, well, most of the Portuguese countries, most of the Portuguese-speaking countries are, apart from Brazil and Portugal, in Latin America and Europe. So I just had a quick meeting with her and tried to coordinate actions with the regional office to help them to develop the regulatory authority, to develop the market, to develop the sector. If we were not members of the ITU, I mean that would be much more difficult to do. So now we're pretty much in line to coordinate our actions, to coordinate our training training what? So I got a little bit lost now. The activities, and so this is one concrete example of the benefits of being a sector member, and being part of it. It's also, or being a sector member is be part of the solution, and I do believe that everyone counts on a solution that has to be built by everyone. Because in our days, I think people that think that can bring up solutions by their own, they are totally wrong. I think it's got to be constructive and a shared process to build up solutions and to develop our sector.
Mr. Batista, thank you very much for your
thank you.
kind contribution. Thank you.